The American 240 narrow gauge Old English locomotive has been on the top of my list for a very long time. Some 240 narrow gauge locomotives can still be found today, and some are still in operation at various locations and theme parks. The 240 Myrtle and her whaleback tender on the now defunct sugarcane train in Maui has always been a favorite of mine. She was built in 1943 by H.K. Porter. In my early 20s, I helped work on 4 3/4 layouts and eventually found myself making friends in the 7.5 gauge world, most of which was based around 1/8 scale equipment. I wasn't able to afford and or had the real estate it took to lay track and build a line, but I made lots of friends on the way that helped fuel the desire to one day either buy or machine an actual working steam locomotive that you could ride on. I've been into trains since I was 2. The model that I'll be unboxing and assembling is an AccuCraft 240 Old English style American locomotive with tender. It's coal-fired, for now. The locomotive weighs in at around 265 pounds dry. It has a boiler pressure of 90 psi and has a 2-truck tender. For our Thomas fans, this is my OC character, and she'll be called Livy. This is the first photo I received from my buddy at AccuCraft. I arrived the next day to assist the 500-pound crate that arrived at a warehouse in Fremont, California. I was beyond excited to crack open the crate, and first found packed very neatly was the boiler, along with the cab on the adjacent side. I made a plan to take out the parts separately and move them to my location. After the inspection, I made a plan the next week to transport the locomotive part by part. Here's the procedure. Here we are back at the warehouse. Today's the big day, it's the big move. So we're gonna crack open the crate. They might put it outside and take it piece by piece. Take it back home. There was a lot of good packing that came in the crate, so I thought to make use of it by patting down the bed of my truck and laying a blanket over it. This way the parts had a good cushion to lay on while being transported 20 minutes away to their first location. Hi there, how you doing? The boiler was first on the docket here, and I thought the safest place, being a pretty small boiler, would be on the passenger side seat. Here's a glimpse of the boiler, fresh out of the crate, and right side up. The firebox door was already attached to the firebox. In fact, most of the locomotive is complete. From here, we pretty much have to put the boiler, cab, and various components on top of the chassis. Most rail enthusiasts, as you probably already know, take anywhere from 2 years to 10 years to more to complete their locomotives. This locomotive is in kit form, so there'll be no machining going on. This will more or less be a bolt-together kit building process. Stay tuned as we have future videos that will go through the machining process of making the locomotive. You can check out other channels here on YouTube, such as the Steam channel, and others that go a little more in depth about the machining process it takes to build a locomotive. Here's the first sight of the already complete cab. I'm personally a big fan of smaller metal cabs and thought AccuCraft did a great job in painting and designing the 240's cab and roof. Here's the first sight of the chassis, and as you can see, it's already complete. With a few minor tweaks to the timing, I think we'll have it running on air next episode. First, I had to drop off the boiler and cab at a different location, followed by moving the chassis, tender, and other components to their final location. It's been a long, exciting day moving this 2.5 scale, 7.5 gauge hog, but I'll definitely have her running on air here in the next chapter. Here's where the locomotive will be assembled. Stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks for joining in, and always keep steaming.